The night she said it, her voice was calm, too calm. "Let's just pause our marriage for a bit," she whispered, eyes flicking away from mine as if the floorboards had something more deserving of her attention. The word pause echoed in my head like a gunshot muffled by a pillow. We were sitting in the kitchen, the one we'd renovated together just last year, where the paint still smelled faintly of fresh beginnings. Her suitcase leaned against the doorframe, half-zipped, a red silk scarf spilling out like a wound. At first, I laughed. It wasn't the kind of laugh born from humor, but from disbelief, the body's desperate attempt to stop itself from collapsing. "Pause," I repeated. "What does that even mean, Sarah? You pause a movie, not a marriage." She sighed, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. "It's just, I need space. Time to think. The trip with Emma and the others, it'll give me clarity. For us." For us. That phrase, once so full of hope, now sounded like a lie wrapped in softness. My throat tightened. I wanted to grab her hand, to shake the truth out of her, but I stayed still. Something about her tone, light, detached, made me afraid of what might come out if I pushed too hard. She left that night with a quick kiss on my cheek. Not a lover's kiss, not even a friend's, just a polite gesture between two people pretending everything was okay. As the taxi pulled away, I watched her taillights fade into the night, taking with them the rhythm of our life. The first few days were quiet. Too quiet. Her absence wasn't just in the house, it was in the air, in my chest, in every familiar corner that suddenly felt unfamiliar. I went through her things like a ghost haunting my own home. Her scent lingered on her pillow, her phone charger still plugged in by the nightstand. Everything suggested she'd come back soon. But something inside me whispered otherwise. Then came the first message. A photo on Instagram. The caption read, "Finding myself again." She was standing on a beach, hair wild in the wind, a bright smile that didn't reach her eyes. And beside her, partially visible, was a man's shoulder, broad and familiar in a way that made my stomach twist. I zoomed in. The bracelet on his wrist. The one I'd seen before, at last year's Christmas party. Mark's bracelet. My coworker. My friend. I tried to breathe, but my lungs wouldn't obey. I told myself it could be coincidence. Maybe they'd run into each other. Maybe he was part of the same group. My mind clung to any excuse that kept my world from collapsing. That night, I couldn't sleep. I scrolled through her social media again and again, dissecting every detail. The background of a photo. A reflection in a wine glass. Shadows of someone standing just out of frame. Each time, the puzzle pieces rearranged themselves into something I didn't want to see. On the fourth day, she called. "Hey," she said, her voice light, casual. "Just wanted to check in." "Having fun?" I asked, trying to sound steady. She hesitated. "Yeah, it's been good. The ocean's beautiful. You'd love it here." "I saw the photos," I said. My words hung between us like a knife. Silence. Then a careful exhale. "Please don't read into things, David. I told you, I needed space. That's all." But her tone had changed, defensive, brittle. Like a child caught in a lie. After we hung up, I stared at the ceiling for hours, thinking about every conversation, every late night at the office she claimed to have, every time she came home smelling faintly of a different cologne. The memories I'd trusted turned against me, replaying themselves with new, painful clarity. By the end of the week, I stopped pretending. I called Mark. He didn't answer. I texted him instead. "How's the beach?" No reply. I sat at the kitchen table that night, the same one where she'd ended us, and opened my laptop. Her email was still logged in. I hesitated for a long time before clicking. It felt wrong, but the not knowing was worse. The first few messages were harmless, hotel bookings, flight confirmations, receipts. Then I saw it. "Can't wait to see you again. Same room." The sender's name was Mark H. The blood drained from my face. I clicked it open. The words were simple, ordinary even, but every one of them felt like a blade. The timestamp was from 2 weeks before she left. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat there, staring at the screen, feeling something inside me shut off like a switch. That night, I packed her things. Every dress, every photo, every little token of the life we'd built went into boxes. I stacked them neatly by the front door. It wasn't rage that guided me, it was clarity. A still, cold kind of calm. When she came back 3 days later, her tan was glowing, her laughter light. She walked into the living room, suitcase rolling behind her, and froze. "What is this?" she asked, eyes darting to the boxes. I didn't answer right away. I poured myself a drink instead, watching the liquid swirl in the glass. "You wanted a pause," I said finally. I decided to hit play. Her face paled. "David, please, it's not what you think." I handed her the printed email, folded neatly. "You should stop talking. You'll only make it worse." Tears welled in her eyes, but I felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness. Just emptiness. The kind of emptiness that comes after a storm has ripped through and taken everything with it. She reached for my arm. "I made a mistake. It didn't mean." "Don't," I said quietly. "You ended us when you lied. I'm just making it official." She stood there, trembling, words failing her. I walked past her, opened the door, and nodded toward the boxes. "Take them." The sound of her sobs followed me as I walked upstairs, each one softer than the last until the house fell silent again. For weeks after she left, I tried to find meaning in what happened. Some reason, some closure. But betrayal doesn't come with explanations. It just leaves holes, holes where trust used to live. And yet, somewhere in that silence, I found something unexpected. Freedom. I started running again. Sleeping through the night. Cooking for one without feeling the ache of loneliness. I pressed play on a life that no longer revolved around her lies. One morning, months later, a message appeared on my phone. "I'm sorry. I hope you're happy now." I stared at it for a long time, then deleted it without replying. For the first time in a long while, the word pause didn't scare me anymore. Because now, I was the one choosing when to play.